All right, welcome to day 9 of Wheelie-American workouts. Today's workout is only going to be 18 minutes long. Basically 3 different motions that will repeat for 2 minutes at a time, going through each of those 3 for a total of 6 minutes, and then repeat it a second time and a third time. Three rounds of 3 motions, and those motions are 2 minutes apiece. And let's again get the boilerplate out of the way here. We disclaim any and all warranties, including the warranty of fitness for a particular purpose and the implied warranty of merchantability. You all will indemnify me and hold me harmless for any liability you may have as a result of, or any injury, losses you might have as a result of using this video. And as always, your working out should be part of a plan that you have with your medical team. So, I mentioned, you need to be getting your timer set up so that it'll start every 2 minutes, because we're going to just go in one and then go right into the next motion, go right in, no rest in between. 18 minutes. None of these are going to be super strenuous. You can do it without any extras. I'm going to use my water jugs here. These are my half-gallon each water jugs. Half-gallon is about 4 pounds of water, and then these containers are actually 2 pounds each. So each one gives me about 6 pounds. When you do these workouts, it's good to just keep notes of what weights you're using, and then if you come back and repeat one, see if you can at least do the same amount or more. This one isn't a speed one. Again, each of the motions are for 2 minutes, so you can't do it any faster than the 18 minutes that it's going to take. I think it would be really hard to do the record keeping of how many reps you did in each of the 2-minute segments. If you have a person, or if you can record it and count, that's one thing, but you really should just concentrate on the motions and all that. The one thing you could track is if you're using resistance, how much that resistance is. If you went from just pantomiming the different motions, and I'm going to do the motions in a minute, maybe add a 500 milliliter water bottle or a 750 milliliter water bottle, and use that for resistance. If you've been going to a gym for a long time, you probably don't have at home the sort of things you can do. And I want you to be safe. Always, safety first. If you can't make it the whole 18 minutes with these motions, just note how long you could last. Again, never ever just do a motion kind of sloppy, because all you're doing is training your muscles in your body to do things sloppy. Keep good form, and if you can make it all the way through the workout, fantastic. If not, try to make it through there later. You can repeat these anytime. I don't suggest you repeat them every day, because then you're overworking select parts instead of moving everything around. So, I mentioned there was 3 motions. We got the lateral side, and you get if you're going to use any weight, get it over your head. If you're not going to use any weight, then just have your hand over your head, and you reach over to the side and go as far as you can go safely, and then back up. going to do these on both sides. Do them in groups of 5. Keep that arm straight, right? And then switch to the other side. Do 5, and you're just going to keep repeating that for 2 minutes, and then you'll come back to it on the second and third round. The next motion we're going to do, and this is one where if you have that broomstick, mop handle, some sort of pole you can do, but basically, and if you have that, you get it behind your head with your arms, or in my case, I'm doing 2 6-pound weights on either side, and you basically lean forward as far as you can go safely, and then bring back up. Don't go so far that you Superman out of your chair. You know, this is not trying to turn you into a flexible gymnast or anything. We're just trying to activate whatever muscles you can. And if you can't bend over very far safely, then you probably don't have muscles there to activate and come back up, right? And again, this is one where if you have some weight to use, then it enhances the workout, and if you don't, that's fine too. You know, the first motion, right, hand overhead without any weight, over and up, over and up. And again, these are just demos. You do it for 5. I'm just getting, right? So no weight in this hand or the other hand, right? Hands up here, lean forward, and again, I'm trying to avoid you using your hands on your knees, on your hand armrests to push yourself up. This is, you know, activating what you got, and every one of us is going to have something different based upon what our impairment is. But you do it safely, and you just keep repeating that motion safely for the 2 minutes, right? And then we go into the last motion, hands behind your head, and basically twist and bring it to the knee, and as close to the knee as you can go, right? And I know with, you know, rods in your back's not going to necessarily bend that far. You're also maybe not going to have that many muscles in the core to activate. So again, every one of us will have something different. But if you're not making the effort, you're just wasting your time, right? So do as much as you can, and twist, and bring the opposite, or your elbow to the opposite knee, and we're just going to repeat that for the 2 minutes, and then go back to our lateral sides, right? No rest. Probably going to build up a little sweat if you're doing this right, but it's not meant to go real fast. Not a lot of reps. You know, this isn't a cardio workout. This is activating your core workout, and again, activating as much core as you can, and it's all going to be different, right? So let's pause it and get your timer set up, or I'm going to give you a little bit of minutes, right? Various timer programs will repeat. You know, you set up a 2-minute countdown, and then it'll automatically go back into it. That's what we're going to do, right? And we're going to do it total of 9 times, 3 different motions in 3 different reps for 2 minutes each, 9 minutes. So get your timer set up, and get your resistance, if there is any that you're going to use. Resistance, what I mean is weight. or that broomstick for the down and up. Again, you'll want to just hold it over your shoulders behind your neck, and you're just having to imagine a broomstick in my hand at this point, because I don't have one. All right, so my timer gives me a 10-second countdown. So if we start, or if you start at the same time I do, and your timer doesn't, then you'll be 10 seconds ahead of me. But we're going to start with that, and you just need to have one weight for the first part. If you're using weights for the second part, then you need two, keep it balanced. All right, so I get a 10-second countdown before I start. 6, 5. To the side, up, to the side, up. And again, you don't have to keep up with me. You need to do it safely at the speed you can do, but don't use all 2 minutes to do just one, unless that's all the more you can do safely. Try to get as far as possible, and then back up. Need my armrests on this one. We're not doing wheelchair push-ups. Minute into my 2 minutes, and you only really need to count just to do your 5 on a side and switch, so that you're not overdoing it on one side. Seconds. Okay, so now we go into the next motion. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. All right, just a minute into that, you start to realize that these repetitions can really start to kick your butt. And if you started off with some weight, but you can't keep it up, that's fine, drop the weight. It just becomes a goal in the future to, be able to hold that 500 milliliter bottle in each hand, and get through it all, all 3 rounds. giving you the 10-second warning, getting ready to move into, but that doesn't mean you stop doing this motion. You just need to transfer into the next one. All right, hands behind your head, turn to the opposite side. For those of you who are with me for Strength Week, you can see this is definitely different than Strength Week. We'll have strength creep into a workout every once in a while, but we're basically just mixing it up every day from here on out. I got rods from T2 to T7, so it impacts my ability to bend over. But I do as much as they'll let me, and you should do as much as your situation allows. We're ending up the first of the 3 rounds, and we're just going to repeat these 3 motions 2 more rounds. I got right into these motions and didn't do our warm-ups, but this is one where we're not really, all these things are almost warm-ups or stretches in themselves. All right, so 10 seconds, and then I start the same thing over again. All right, so get my weight overhead on one side and tip. Now, if you think, okay, I can, fill a plastic shopping bag with 30 pounds of soup cans and put that over my head, I'm going to ask you not to do that, because what if that bag breaks and now you got cans of soup falling on your head? And I don't need any more reasons for people to think I have a traumatic brain injury. So, don't put things over your head that could fall on you and hurt you. We're doing this at home. You may not have an easy way to get to the hospital, and if you're doing this right now during the COVID-19 thing, let's just try to stay out of the hospital and let people who need the hospital to be there. And we don't need to be around all those sick people anyway. If they have COVID-19, we don't need to get it. So just do whatever you can not to injure yourself right now. And that includes putting things in a flimsy supermarket bag over your head. Get your imaginary broom handle or your real broom handle or your weights and lean forward and back. This is the middle set of the middle round. So at the 1 minute point here, we'll be halfway done. On this one, we're just going for 2 minutes. You don't have to count. You can if you want to, but I'm not tracking it. I just want to activate core muscles. halfway. Halfway of this set and halfway of this round and halfway of all 3 rounds. Triple halfway point. Make sure you're breathing also. Don't just hold your breath this entire time. That'll make it really hard to go all 18 minutes. Hands behind your head, opposite knee. No rest, just go right into the next motion. You've maxed out all the weights you can safely do, and there's just no telling when your gym's going to open up. You just make the best of it. Just activate the core muscles. So even if you could do more weight, if you're doing it without any, that's better than nothing at this point. Just trying to keep from getting worse by not doing anything.
Seconds.
All right, last round. Arm up to the side. Arm up. Side, return. Get your 5 in on one side and switch sides. Unlike some of the workouts where you do your counts and then the rest of it is rest, this one there's no rest. You just roll right into the next one.
Halfway there.
Right.
Seconds.
into our hands or rod behind our neck, forward, back. And I'm indicating to you that the old Bill and Ted, I'm not worthy of your participation with me, but I hope you're getting something out of this. Remember, this is the last round, so don't slough off. Just let's make it a good 18 minutes.
Halfway there.
Hopefully you got a good sense of where you can go without supermaning out of your chair.
Ten seconds.
All right. And this is the last 2 minutes, so give it all you got. Again, we're just working on core today. Hopefully give you better stability, posture, control in sitting in your chair, transfers. You meet one spinal cord injury, you've met exactly one spinal cord injury. We all have different function and what we can do, so you do what you can and not worry about what others are able to do. We're trying to maximize what you can do with what you got. We're in the last minute here.
Halfway there.
Keep it up to the end, if you can, safely. Otherwise, just note how far in you got and try to get better in the future as you build up.
Seconds.
All right, so 18 minutes. If you're like me, there's sweat on your forehead and running down your nose. We can, this isn't meant to be strenuous, just maybe part of a cool down here for you. Clench your fists, put them down by your side, and keep them clenched, and then rotate your head. When your head is back, look up, look at the ceiling, or if you're outside, look at the sky. Go around like 5 times. And then go the other way. So just put your arms, doesn't matter, just hands on your shoulders, arms across your chest. And we'll just rotate around a little bit. Like 4 times, one direction. And we'll go 4 times the other way. Now, squeeze your thumb inside your fingers. Hold where your thumb would be pointing up, and start it here between your knees and up and over. And again, this isn't meant to be fast. We're just kind of squeezing blood out of the muscles. Let new blood come in fresh. Developed any lactic acid, which is making you feel tired or your muscle feel tired, we'll get it out of there. All right, so that was 4 or 5 on that side. Same thing, thumb tucked in, and fingers squeezed around. Arms straight start between your legs. Keep it straight up all the way around and in the back. And of course, I'm running into my wheelchair back. So even if you could have more flexibility in your arms, you can't go because your wheelchair back is in the way. So we just work with what we got. You can use this, by the way, as a warm-up if you want to remember it in the future, what we're cooling down with. All right. So, thanks for being here on day 9 of Wheelie-American workouts.